everything to have that little drip, but thank you. Those in a future show. Join me again. Thank you for watching. This is Tish Tansil on URBANesque Living. Now, if you're wondering what I've been doing since you've been gone, peeler on it as well, but it's a little bit to show you some secrets of a pastry chef. I worked in the pastry industry for a number of years. So I make the cookies. Sometimes they do crumble. And you can stick a fork in it, literally. Something that people think is a very hard. You'll find out when we come back. Hi, welcome to another edition of URBANesque Living. I'm your host, Chef Tish Tansil, and today we are going to be making something smooth, creamy, and delicious, and maybe even a little bit nutty. We're making homemade nut butter. Stay tuned.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple, just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Hi, welcome back to URBANesque Living. I'm your host, Chef Tish Tansil, and today we are making our own homemade nut butter, and it's a lot easier than you think. If you have a food processor, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I have my cashews. Now these have already been roasted. I wouldn't recommend using raw cashews. You might use candy cashews if you like, but we're going to make this all natural cashew butter. So the first thing we're going to do is take about 2 cups of cashews and we're going to put them in our food processor. And step number 2, we're just going to put the lid on and we're going to let this pulse for 10 minutes. And then we're going to see if we need to add any oil just to loosen it up a little bit. I don't recommend adding the oil at the beginning because you want to make sure that it's not too loose. And if you add the oil too early in the process, you might get runny butter. So we don't want that. We want it nice and smooth and creamy. So I'm just going to turn this on, and in 10 minutes, we're going to come back and see how this looks. Okay, so as you see, making your own homemade nut butter is as easy as 1, 2, and 3. You're done. Thank you for joining me on URBANesque Living.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look! Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one someone here's gonna help you, because no one...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Hi, I'm Chef Tish Tansil and welcome to URBANesque Living. Today, I'm going to show you how to melt chocolate. Sometimes people are intimidated about making chocolate confections at home, but it's really not that hard, and I'm going to show you a great way to melt chocolate, the easy way.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
I'm Chef Tish Tansil, and today I'm going to show you a very easy way to do something that a lot of people think is a hard thing to do, which is to perfectly melt your chocolate. Now, if you are a professional chocolatier, you worry about tempering your chocolate, you worry about adding it at the right time, but quite honestly, if you just buy some chocolate bars at the store and you just want to make some chocolate molds for a birthday party or for some garnishments, it's really not that difficult to just melt some chocolate. The microwave oftentimes will burn your chocolate because you really don't know at what temperature that chocolate is going to have a melting point. So you're going to get this really terrible smell if it burns. One of the easiest ways to melt chocolate is by using a double boiler. Now, if you don't have a double boiler, you can actually make your own double boiler. I have an induction cooktop. I have a stainless steel pot or mixing bowl. And oftentimes, these stainless steel mixing bowls work on an induction cooktop. This one does work on an induction cooktop. So what I'm doing right now is boiling some water, bringing it up to temperature. And so once I get the water going at a certain rate, right now I have it at 360, I'm going to put my chocolate bowl on top of it, and I'm going to let it heat up for just a little bit. And once it starts to heat up, it's going to start to melt. You cannot leave your chocolate on here at 360 degrees because it's going to make the chocolate a little bit clumpy. So what you're going to do is actually begin to stir the chocolate in the bowl, and you're going to wait until it just begins to melt because of the steam. The steam underneath heats the bowl, and the bowl in turn heats the chocolate. It doesn't burn the chocolate, so your chocolate is not going to burn this way. Our chocolate is starting to melt. I turned the temperature down because we don't need the chocolate to be at 360 degrees. I just wanted to get the bowl warm so that the chocolate would melt. I actually turned it down to approximately 180 degrees. Now the induction cooktop will go down to 140 degrees, and what that does is keep the chocolate nice and warm so that you can use it for a number of different projects over a span of time. Okay, so now our chocolate is at a very good temperature. It's at a very good place. If you can see, the chocolate is nice and smooth. There's still a little bit of chocolate that has not melted in here, so I'm going to move it around with a spatula. Now, sometimes you might be tempted to use a wire whisk when you are melting chocolate. You really don't want to use wire because it's going to throw off the temperature of the chocolate. So one of these spatulas is actually very good. It doesn't hold heat. It moves the chocolate around. It does what you need it to do. Okay, so now our chocolate is smooth and creamy and dark and sweet. Thank you for joining me on URBANesque Living.
Recycling in Detroit starts with you.
Do you recycle?
Did you know Detroit recycles? We started curbside collection in different neighborhoods.
It's getting bigger and moving to other neighborhoods.
And anyone can recycle here
and here. What we do with our trash, the reflection of our city. A city that's full of life and optimism.
And we need to take pride in our city.
It's one small change
that starts a chain reaction.
Detroit recycles.
Hi, I'm Chef Tish Tansil, and welcome to URBANesque Living. I have a quick cooking tip for you today. Safety first in your kitchen, and by safety first, you must protect yourself as well as your kitchen. This is a pot holder, and it's made out of silicone, and this actually protects not only your hands, but it protects the surfaces in your kitchen. Some of us have granite, some of us have wood, but you want to make sure you don't get stains on your furniture. So this is a very, very urbanesque thing to have in your kitchen. Not only can you use it for your pots, you can use it to protect your hands when you're lifting hot pots. See the water on the bottom of this? It won't go any further than that silicone mat. That's very urbanesque. Thank you for joining me.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Hi, welcome to another edition of URBANesque Living. Today I'm going to show you how to take ordinary nuts and just make them fantastic. We are going to candy some nuts.
Mommy, look at me.
As a parent, of course you want to protect your kids. Sometimes you know just what to do. Sometimes you just try your best. But when your child is sick, antibiotics may not be the answer. Antibiotics don't cure colds, flu, or most sore throats. Talk with your child's doctor or nurse and learn how to help your child feel better.
Hi, welcome back to URBANesque Living. And like I promised, I'm going to show you how to make some delicious homemade candied nuts. Now these nuts are going to be for a dessert. You can do candied nuts that are great for a salad, and you can use pecans and rosemary flavoring, or you can use whatever spices and herbs you like. You can make them hot with cayenne pepper and honey, kind of a sweet and sour thing. But today I'm going to be making some candied walnuts because I'm going to be making some banana bread, and I would like to use the candied walnuts in the banana bread because it gives a terrific flavor when you bite into it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use our induction cooktop, and this is a cast iron skillet, which is great for using on an induction cooktop because it's metal, and the metal magnetic force in the induction cooktop is perfect for cooking on cast iron. So we're going to turn this on, and we're going to put it at about 200 because nuts can burn very easily, and we really don't want to cook our nuts in our cast iron skillet right now. We just want to melt the sugar to coat the nuts. So what we have is some oil, and this is about 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. So we're just going to pour that into our pan. Now the thing about cast iron cooking on an induction cooktop is that it heats up very, very quickly. So the next thing that I'm going to do, we had showed you in a previous show how to use our vanilla. And we had cut up our vanilla bean because I want this flavored with some wonderful vanilla aroma. Oil is already heating up. Now this is coconut sugar. I like coconut sugar because I find that it digests better in the body. You can use honey, you can use white sugar, you can use maple sugar. Whatever flavor you're trying to obtain, it's your choice. These are your nuts, you do what you like. So we just want this to get to kind of a liquid state. Okay, I also have a little salt, and salt brings out the flavor in foods. And you don't need a lot of salt to do this, just a little salt. Now you can have a salted nut dish where you have much more salted flavor. Now the reason why I'm waiting to add the nuts is because I want to make sure that the oil and sugar has completely blended and melted together. And as you can see, it doesn't take long on an induction cooktop for this to happen. Induction cooking is actually fabulous for saving energy. You don't have a lot of heat that goes outside of the pan. All of the heat from the cooktop goes directly into the cooking surface, and it doesn't go out into the atmosphere. Okay, now this is very hot. You can see it's smoking a little bit, so I'm going to add our nuts. And basically what I'm trying to do now is just get the nuts all coated in our sugar mixture. I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit because right now the sugar is just where I need it to be. Okay, so the nuts are now completely covered in our candy syrup mixture. Now you can do this a couple of different ways. I'm going to add just a little bit of rum flavor because I do want a little rum flavor, but I don't want the rum alcohol. So now that we have them on our tray, we're going to set them in the oven at a temperature of about 250 degrees because we don't want our nuts to burn, because burnt nuts have a very bitter flavor and we don't want a bitter flavor. So we're going to set these in the oven and we're going to let them cook for about 7 minutes. Then we're going to toss them. Okay, so now it's time to take our nuts out of the oven. If they're not completely dry, don't worry. As soon as you take them out of the oven and they start to cool off, that sugar will start to crystallize and you will have beautiful candy nuts. And these smell wonderful. I'm not going to try one just yet because these are very hot, but our candied nuts smell wonderful and they taste wonderful too because I was nibbling in between. But these are very hot. So, thank you for tuning in to URBANesque Living and join us again.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Hi, I'm Chef Tish Tansil and welcome to another edition of URBANesque Living. Today, I'm going to show you how to do something special that will impress the guests at your next event. I'm going to show you how to make a special gift item that you can hand out as souvenirs that your guests will remember for years to come. Stay tuned.
Mom, can I have $1? Yeah, it's right. I think my purse is upstairs on the bed. It's not here. Check the dining room. No. What about your sister's room? It's not there either. The upstairs closet? The downstairs closet? There are no more closets.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Hi, welcome back to URBANesque Living. And like I said, today I'm going to show you how to make a very special gift item. Now in the previous show, I showed you how to melt chocolate. Well, now I'm going to show you something very simple yet impressive to do for your next event. Now the chocolate is at a perfect temperature right now. It's smooth and it's creamy and it's ready to go. Next, you're going to need a silicone mold. It doesn't have to be a mold like this one. This is a 6-compartment mold. Yours can be heart-shaped, it can be square, it can be round, it doesn't matter. Whichever design you like. Now today I'm doing a traditional looking candy bar, but it's going to have a special topping, and those toppings are actually homemade toppings that they can't get anywhere else but your kitchen. You don't have to spray the silicone because silicone is a non-stick surface. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the chocolate off of our double boiler, and I'm actually going to dab it on our mat because it's going to have a little bit of water and condensation at the bottom, and we don't want that dripping into our chocolate because it's going to make very unsightly bubbles in it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our chocolate and we're going to pour them in equal amounts into each of our shells. And we're going to use up all of our chocolate because everyone loves a chocolate bar and we don't want to waste our chocolate. And I'm going to get a little bit of that off the edges. And I'm going to set this aside because there's nothing in there. We don't need to heat it any longer. I'm going to turn off our induction cooktop and I'm going to take our spatula and I'm just going to make sure that the chocolate is evenly distributed into each one of these little cells. Because this is square, we have corners, and because we want our presentation perfect, we don't want to hand out chocolate bars that are missing the corners. If that happens, quite honestly, it's not really a big deal. You can just take the chocolate and remelt it and try it again. It's really not a problem to remelt your chocolate. Now what I'm going to do is just give it a little shake and make sure that all of our air bubbles are out. Because you don't want air bubbles in your chocolate. It's not really going to affect the taste of it. It's still going to be delicious chocolate. But before this chocolate sets, we are going to add our own special touch. Now, on an earlier show, I made some candied walnuts, and I'm going to sprinkle some of those candied walnuts on top of a few of these. You really don't need a lot because these are not the biggest candy bars in the world. These are just souvenir candy bars. Just enough to give a person a taste of chocolate. Now I also have some walnuts that I did not candy in case you have a guest who wants just the plain nut with some chocolate, which is actually delicious as well. And we're just going to drop those on top so that they get a delicious piece of naturally grown walnut and that they don't have to worry about the extra candy. You know, you do have a lot of candy on here anyway. Now the next thing I'm going to add are some raisins. Raisins and chocolate make a delicious combination. I think I might add a couple of nuts on that one as well. So you have kind of like a raisin nut, and I'm just going to break a couple of them up. And we are good to go. And I'm going to put these in the cooler.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Hi, welcome back. Now, our chocolate candy bars have been hardening in the cooler. Now, if you like, you can leave them out and they will harden also, but it's going to take a little bit more time. So I'm taking these out of the cooler and I'm going to pop them out of the molds. And as you see, it's not that hard because the silicone, you can bend it and it's flexible and you can push it out. And so that was our first candy bar. So I'm just going to unmold the other ones. Isn't that beautiful? Nice and shiny. When you see a shine on the chocolate like that, that means that it was at the proper temperature and that you did everything the right way. And that's why it's so easy to melt your chocolate on a double boiler. You're at the perfect temperature and your chocolate is going to look beautiful. Now, if you have a gift basket, these little chocolate bars are perfect souvenirs. And when you come back in just a second, I'm going to show you just how beautiful they look when you bag them up. One little tip I wanted to tell you. Sometimes when the chocolate comes out of the mold, they have this little edge that's a little bit odd. So basically, all you have to do is just break that off. Not a big deal. You can use a little knife and slice it off, whichever you choose. It's a lot quicker when you use your hand, and it will just break off evenly. Okay, so now I'm going to show you just how to bag these up. It's not really that difficult. If you go to your local craft store, they actually have clear plastic bags of various sizes to handle what you need and what you need it for. These bags are perfect for our candy bars. Now, one of the things that you can actually do is cut some ribbon. So if you're using these for a bridal shower, you can buy ribbon that matches your wedding party, and that will actually add to the effect. So I'm just going to bag these up right now. Okay, so now all of our chocolate bars have been wrapped. And one of the great things about wrapping them this way is that on the blank side, you can actually put a label on here that signifies what the occasion is and what the date. You can put a photograph, you can put a place card, you can put a business card. But these are tightly wrapped, they're sanitary, they're safe, and they're perfect for handing out. And they're also perfect for putting in a gift basket such as this. These are great souvenirs to hand out to your friends, to your family, and most of all, to yourself. Thank you for joining me. This is Tish Tansil on URBANesque Living.